First opened in 2017, there's a look at the beautiful state-of-the-art Mercedes-Benz Stadium here in Atlanta, GA. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Miami Dolphins and the Atlanta Falcons. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Freeman. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Kill. 11. Check.
They run. Freeman. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 14 yards there on a Falcon first down.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Gun. To the backfield. Motion to the backfield. 39. Bravo. 43. Check. 43.
On first down, Ryan. That's caught. It's Chris Moore. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Come on, D.
Ito Smith, his first carry. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
The line to gain is the 33 on third down.
Big stop, let's go.
Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. to gain is the 33 on third down.
Watch a slant, watch a slant, watch a slant. Hey, Tuesday. No, check that. Let him go.
Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And he will find his man on the outside. What a methodical drive this is turning out to be. That time 9 yards, and the sticks move again.
Nice methodical opening drive here. They're already into field goal range. They're in a good spot. You know that people like to take a shot in this part of the field. But at the same time, as methodical as they've been, they might want to run the ball a little bit here too.
And just on the outskirts of the red zone, they have options now. Either way, though, they've come out with a purpose.
Check 31, check 31. 51. Hey, Delta. Check 24.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Watch the twist. Hey, alert 3.
On 2nd down, Freeman. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Under crunch. Shift.
A 1st down carry for Smith. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Bear in mind, that wasn't a big lineman back there for the tackle for loss. That was a cornerback.
So are you saying the myth has been shattered? That all of them are not just cover corners? Some of them actually will stick their nose in and tackle when necessary? That's what we just saw, isn't it?
Being chased out left. And this is going to be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First carry now for Jordan Howard. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. 2nd and 9 now from the 21. From the gun, Gibbons gets this to his running back, Jordan Howard. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line.
A 5-yard pickup on the play, and it's 3rd down.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Operating from the gun, Gibbons. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got some turnover.
And I think the ball's out, and the Falcons grab it. That's probably bringing back nightmares of last week, isn't it?
No doubt about it. Right now, I'm looking over at the coaching staff, and I'm seeing the wheels turning in their heads, and you know what is happening? They're remembering how they started the season in camp, even in the offseason where they emphasized ball security, and they're wondering why the message isn't sinking in.
They had 5 turnovers last week, now 1 here in the opening quarter. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Check, 43.
At the 42-yard line.
second down. It's Freeman. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage.
Hey, Tuesday. Check. Hey, Orbit.
We're scoreless after one. Back now in Atlanta, second quarter action. The Falcons with the football. They've got a third down and a yard to start things out. It's Freeman. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. That'll bring up fourth. They had the 8-yard gain on first down, but unable to do much from there. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Not too shabby here. This will skip out of bounds at about the 12-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football, because as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has held them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change at quarterback, running back, tight end. It doesn't matter. Get better players, better system, so they can play to the standards of the defense, and the win column will result.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Gibbons. And his throw is incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
45 to Mike. Watch the screen.
From the gun, Gibbons. Open man, it's Preston Williams. And they stop him short of the first as he can only get to the 20. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. On 4th down, Matt Hawk is on to punt. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. It's taken to the 26. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnover.
Devontae Freeman, they're not going to get him. Touchdown, Falcons. Devontae Freeman. His 17th touchdown now on the season, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. After a fairly uneventful first quarter, that last play, that'll make a few highlight clips.
It certainly will, and you're exactly right. The first quarter almost felt like a feeling out process, didn't it? Both teams, okay, what are we going to do? Looks like they've ramped things up just a little bit to start the second quarter.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? The turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully points.
Step, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
On second down now, it's Howard. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. Caught the defense off guard there a bit on second and long, but now you still have to deal with third and long.
Yeah, you do, but you feel pretty good about the last play, don't you? And maybe it gives you a little bit of confidence dialing up the next one, that maybe your team will believe in it when you send it in.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Ricardo Allen with a pick, and his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds.
43 is the mic. 51, sub. 6'5",
from just shy of midfield, Ryan is going to loft one deep over the middle. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They've shown very little offensively to this point. Well, neither team has really. They come up here now first down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Out of the gun, this is Howard. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
That's fielded in the end zone. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Falcons grab it. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Falcons push further out in front. So they get the one-score kickoff, get a fumble, take it right back to the house. 2 quick touchdowns within a matter of about 10 seconds on the game clock.
It's like a big 1-2 punch that may lead to a knockout.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20.
At their own 18-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
We know, but let me think.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores up. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by DeMonte Casey. Parker, the intended target.
59, get him. 25. Hey, South.
The Falcons take over first and 10. At their 28.
Under 10. Under 10. 10. Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, hey. Watch the ship. Watch the ship. 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 Hey, white. 43 is the mic, boy. 43. Check. 43.
On first down, Freeman. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
43's the mic. 43's the mic. You don't want to go. Ready to go.
On second and very short, Ryan, and finding the tight end Hooper. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Austin Hooper, his second touchdown on the season. And the Falcons push further out in front. Extra point by McCrane, up and good. And the rout is on here in this first half. Following the touchdown, McCrane set to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And the Falcons grab it. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. And now a 10th carry for Freeman. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Ready, we're ready. We're ready. Check, check, 40. Check, 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 check. Hey, man. Watch the boot. Watch the boot. Hey, check, check. 43. Check.
On third down, Devontae Freeman. And they're going to drop him well shy of the first as he can only make it to the 11. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. McCrane's kick is good. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
After the made field goal, here's McCrane back out there to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off near the 32. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. Well, Charles, he's thrown 5 picks in a game before. And right now, after that one, he's standing on number 4.
And right now, your defensive coordinator is asking the offense coordinator, can you do anything to slow this down? Because my guys have to keep running back out on the field. So play calling may come into it a little bit, maybe run the ball a little bit more. But a lot of it depends on the scoreboard.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Raekwon McMillan. The 30, past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Miami. Jason Sanders now for the extra point. And he's got it as the score is now 31-7. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Here we go.
At their own 24-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
25-yard line.
Mike's 43. Come to my world. We want it. Come to my world. He's checking, he's checking, he's checking.
On second down, it's Freeman. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Hey, got it. White 25. Watch 25. Check the outs, check the outs, check the outs.
Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Falcons grab it. And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
And he's not even able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Now, there's also a flag down, and it's in the area of holding. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Now it's Ryan. It's caught over the middle. Hooper. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up. South. Check out. 58.
Now Freeman, he's been busy today. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
20.
A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. And this is caught at the 8. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
51,
They'll run here with Freeman. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. A good run of 6 yards there. Gets him closer to the goal line with second down coming up.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal. They'll look to run with Freeman. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
This defense hasn't let him in yet. They'll need to stiffen here. Third and goal from the 2.
Hey, lock it. Whip. Watch the whip. Chance. Hey, Sam off.
They'll try and sneak it here. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. It's their quarterback with his first career NFL touchdown as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Here's McCray now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Following the touchdown, McCray set to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Back to throw. Gibbons. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 39 yards the distance covered on the catch and run.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Looking to throw. Gibbons. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. So he can't hang on. And as I watched that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know. But you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. No chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Grady Jarrett able to record his 5th sack of the season.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
On 3rd down, this is Howard. Give him 9 on the carry, but it's not enough. And it'll be 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
They'll score that a 36-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.